Welcome back to Switch to Linux. So today the Zesty Zapus Ubuntu 17.04 was released, and so we are going to take a little bit of time and talk about that release. This is the Beta 2. And it was released, I believe it was released 2/23. Of course, I'm recording this at 2/24 at 2:30 in the morning. I wanted to actually try and get this started recording around 11, and then some other things got in the way. Didn't get the chance. Wanted to get it up before the sunrise came, and so we're going to come over here and just talk a little bit about Ubuntu 17.04 Beta 2 Zesty Zapus. And I gotta say that, I'm a little, I'm still going to be a little critical of Ubuntu. And I'm going to be critical of Ubuntu for two primary reasons. The first is, this is not a small organization. This is not a group that has no real resources and they're bootstrapping 3 developers who have day jobs. This is a major company with major resources and programmers working on this particular distro. And it makes a big core of a lot of what is Linux run. I mean, if you look at, obviously Ubuntu is based on Debian, and so Debian by de facto is larger than Ubuntu. But if you have a look at the distros that come from Ubuntu itself, there are a ton. Ubuntu servers, Ubuntu, just all sorts of stuff. And so with all that being said, Ubuntu should have a whole lot more going for it right now than it does, even for a Beta 2. Now, the second reason I'm going to be critical is I really started using Ubuntu mainstream. What? Kitty wants to come say hi. Come say hi to everybody? All right. Yeah, this is the talkative kitty. She likes to talk. And she agrees. Don't you agree? Yeah, you agree? Yeah, do you? You agree? Okay. So, the second reason is I really started using Ubuntu a lot. And it was back in November, December of not, 2016, but November, December 2015. And it was, the first thing I did is I installed it, and then I ran a distribution upgrade, and I was actually running Ubuntu 16.04 in even alpha. In fact, I was running that distro pre-alpha, and I had no problems with it at all. In fact, the only time I had any problems show up with Ubuntu 16.04 is once the actual release happened. I had a couple little goofy things went on, nothing that was major. But, that being said, I worked production system on a pre-alpha Ubuntu 16. And then I went through the alpha and then the beta. You could not tell that package was an alpha release or a beta release. It was good. It was stable. It was rock solid. And that's really what... what we're looking for here is a distro that's going to give us that level of stability. And so for those two reasons, I am going to be a little bit more critical of Ubuntu than I might be if it were something like, like Farron OS has 1 or 2 guys working on it. A few of these other ones have 1 or 2 guys working on it. And this is going to be the third video. I'm going to talk about Ubuntu. There's some things they've got right. I have... one of the greatest things they have right is Unity 8. You can actually run it on a VirtualBox now, and that rocks. It's not necessarily good or smooth yet, but it's there, and so we can do higher quality showing of the system. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you this in a VirtualBox, and then I have a live key over here that we're going to boot up a computer on a live key, and I'm going to show you what Unity 8 looks like on a touch screen. Since everyone's like, yeah, it's going to be touch screen, I'm going to show you that it sucks just as bad on a touch screen. The other thing I'll tell you, one of the things that I'm really, really disappointed in If you are running this version, which is the beta 2, in fact, the specific version that was downloaded is this one here, Zesty Zapus. It says here beta 2, and if you go to the page where it's released, then it is released today, verified everything. If you upgrade this, run a sudo apt-get upgrade, breaks the whole thing. And that happened on both the VirtualBox and on the actual computer. I'd actually taken the time, installed it to actual hardware, ran an upgrade because I'm just so used to running an upgrade, just to make sure nothing else happened since they released it. And log out, hangs on a black screen. Go to boot the thing up, hangs on a black screen. Did the same exact thing on the VirtualBox. Logs out to a black screen, boots up to a black screen. Can't do anything about it. Couldn't bypass it. I couldn't hold down shift or anything else to get into the grub menu. It was pretty much dead. So it's just a dead distro. We'll have to write over it. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and start this guy up. And as we start this guy up, we're going to see how it's working here. Now the default, of course, it's going to boot up into our log screen. And I think what I'm going to do is just go right into Unity 8. Unity 7 is pretty much the same. In fact, the same complaint that I had before. If you go into Unity 7 and let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go into Unity 7 here. And you'll see down here at the corner, it is Ubuntu 17.04. But then once we're going to get logged in here, if you come back up here and hit the About the Computer, it still says 1610. And I looked through this. I did not see any major differences between 1610. One thing that I had encountered... I'm not sure I've encountered it since I just reinstalled it. I had to just reinstall, I'd gotten the distro, I had installed it on the VirtualBox, ran the upgrade, that broke everything. I wiped it and ran the install again, and I didn't touch it since then. The only major thing, I do not remember if online accounts is on here before. It's not a feature I use, and I cannot remember if that was there before in previous versions. So somebody let me know. Is online accounts, is that new, or is that something that was there? A little on the flustery side, they keep on changing the wallpapers, and you have a lot. I mean, we have a lot more wallpapers that are this, same thing, just different shades thereof. We have a lot of these. But they've been getting rid of a lot of wallpapers. And all of the wallpapers that I really liked and really used on my Ubuntu computers, they're gone now. Now, I get the argument. You can go online and download them again for sure. But what's odd to me is, they just keep on getting rid of them. Now, I think maybe Linux Mint might come with too many wallpapers. But that being said, I'm a little flustered in that they keep on getting rid of wallpapers or changing them around so much. Literally, it's like I got used to wallpaper, I really liked the wallpaper, and then they get rid of that wallpaper. So I gotta go find some more wallpapers. Now, unfortunately, stuff like this happens. Of course, on KDE, there's great places to download them. Over here, of course, nothing's really changed here. Can change your icon size, etc. We still have all of the same themes, ambience, radiance, high color, so nothing there has really changed. Let's see, menu visibilities, enable, the desktop, enable workspaces, auto hide the launcher. So it looks like you still need the Unity tweak tool if you want to do things like put the Unity bar on the bottom, things like that. Everything else seemed pretty much the same. I didn't notice any major differences as far as this is concerned here. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just log out, and then we're going to go over and have a look at Unity 8 because we can now run Unity 8 in a desktop. So that is good. As far as on the other computer, of course, get the Unity 8, come up, click on the Unity logo there, go down, click 8. If you're on a live key, the default password is the user is Ubuntu and the password is left blank. Of course, I installed this, and so I set up my own password. Now, this will take a moment to load. It's not quite as jumpy. Okay, maybe not. It was taking a moment to load every time I did this before. So now we're loaded into Unity 8. We still get this really annoying scopes guide. This is a problem I've encountered with the VirtualBox is my mouse can't go any further right now. I just got to wiggle it around a little bit and you'll get there. There it goes. Now it's back. It's getting a little... it's getting there, getting there. It's like you got to force it. Eventually we'll get there. Some of the things that... oh, come on. Hey, we got there. All right. It does seem a little slow and buggy at times, and that was actually, full hardware on the computer as well was full and buggy. We still get this scopes part. This thing is annoying, and I have no clue why it pops up. But basically what it is if you go over and you switch to the non-desktop mode, you can see we're on desktop mode. If you switch to non-desktop mode, pretty much everything is scoped. And I believe that the idea behind this is that you're supposed to be able to add apps to this. And of course, if we go down here, there's some apps installed. Now, I wouldn't really want any of these over here. But I think that the idea is eventually you can drop apps up here, kind of like you can on the on the screen on a smartphone. And if you go, it should be if you throw your mouse over here to the side, you should get your apps menu. And the same over here, of course, since I'm in a VirtualBox, it's not going to read a right-hand side detection because of that. I'll show you how those functions, though, work on the actual touchscreen. So I really hate this stupid thing. It just kind of gets in my way and just keeps coming back at the most inopportune times. As I'd said before, the greatest thing about Unity 8 is I love the new organization, which you can now get to by actually clicking on the Ubuntu logo rather than just hitting the hot corner on the side of the screen or the hot edge on the side of the screen. I really love this new way of organizing the apps. This is like the absolute biggest thing that this distro has going for it, is this organization. One of the things that I was pleased to see is, although we have some weird UI stuff like that, we are finding that some of the apps, many of the apps are actually working. So this now works. Yay! And I'm not sure about saving it. I did not attempt to save any documents. Let's see what happens. Let's save to the desktop because that's what I would ordinarily want to do. Close. Looks like I have to exit with the screen there. Of course, now it's like I can't seem to work off the desktop. This is that moving trend of not letting people work off the desktop. And I want to work off the desktop. That's how I work. If you looked at my Unity 7 Ubuntu computer, I work off the desktop. If I cannot work off the desktop, Ubuntu is now, I will not use it anymore. Now, I'm sure that there will be an option to turn that back on here somewhere. Here is your settings panel, of course. We have rotation lock turned on in case, I pick up my monitor and want to move it or something, I guess. Of course, rotation lock is tablets, smartphones, screens, things like that. Here's your various network systems, your backgrounds, so you can pick from your backgrounds here. Here's your icon size on your launcher. You can auto hide the launcher or always show it. I think the previous releases was auto hiding the launcher by default. I like that it's visible. That's something that I like. Here's your sounds, online accounts, notifications, battery. So you can see pretty much all of the functions and features are here. This is the new browser, I believe. I think it was working. Yep. Okay, so our browser now works. This is a benefit. It was not working before. So I can, let's just, I don't want to Google. I don't like Google. I want to see start page. Let's see what happens here. All right, so there we are. So this is, it looks like they're following the way of elementary. They're trying to build this thing to look like a Mac. What's going on? Not entirely. Elementary clearly is trying to look like a Mac. This is just, different browser. And I know before that Firefox did not work. I think you can still get to the apps by going onto the hot edge, but let's see if Firefox should be here. Let's see if this is actually working. I know I tried to run Thunderbird, and that was not working earlier today. Let's try that again. Yeah, so that one crashed. Some of the other things that are going on in the in here is things like the other places the UI gets a little goofy. Is the system monitor, last time I tried it, did work, but it gave us a lot of the old UI in dead system bars. Of course, it doesn't seem like it's going to work for me today. So this is kind of what we get. It looks kind of cool with that busy logo resembling the Ubuntu logo. That's a really cool, nice new feature. But, they're making the thing look fairly pretty, other than these icons I think are atrocious. But that's a matter of personal opinion. But, this is a beta 2. And Unity is still not, Unity 8's still not working. Now the latest things I've seen is now they're going to target 18.04 for Unity 8. Or maybe 18.08. I don't know. Let's get goofy here. But basically what's going to happen here is, we're going to be still stuck on Unity 7. And I'm not seeing any real changes in Unity 7. And I'm thinking that, there it is. I just closed a browser window and that scopes thing pops right back up again. Drives me mad. I have no clue. I think better not be in the final release. But just overall, it's like the. See, some of these were working for me before. I know I was in a software manager. It might have been this one. I was in some of these programs today. Okay, so this one seems to be working. Let's get rid of this one. All right, so you can see here that as it's working, it is, downloading the catalog. We'll forgive that for taking some time. But you can see here the old bars are still here. Of course, I don't think they do anything. Over here is where you need to make the adjustments. And there are certainly apps here that that you can download. See what happens if I install something. Oh, we get a little password box up there. That's good. Not appearing in my menu there, so it says it's there, but I'm not seeing it. So this is, it's moving along. It certainly is a lot more progress than it was before. It's smoothed out a little bit. I can do a few little things with it, but this is still. I'm still going to be critical of this because Unity 8 has been in the works for so long. We were anticipating it in 16, then they're like 17. We were anticipating it in 17, now they're saying 18. This is going to be like Wayland. Where is it? Of course Wayland has some distribution going on. There's some distros that are actually coming with it. But, it's I don't mean to be super critical, but this is a large organization with a lot of resources, and this is what we got. It's not really working, and even half the time before I had to reinstall this, going back into the Unity 7, it was. See, I don't wanna shut down. I don't want to lock. I want to log out. About lock. Let's see what lock does. No, lock just gets me back to this screen here. Let's go with shut down. We'll just go ahead and shut her down. Shut her down. Okay, yeah, we'll just power it off. I want to go back into Unity 7, but that's all right. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and boot this up on a computer with a touch screen on a live key here. And we're going to have a look at what that looks like. Okay, so you can see my nice reflection there as this guy boots up, and hopefully it'll actually give us something. I'm thinking if I shut down this light, that might help us out a little bit there. Okay. Okay. This is my good Linux Mint computer. We're not going to install, definitely not. Although if it were 16.04 in beta, I might install it, but not this one here. Of course, here is our Unity 7, and it's as we'd said, there's really no major change anywhere in here. What we're going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to log out. That seems to be the function that was missing on Unity 8, is that logout function. At least I didn't see it. It might be there. We're going to come over here. We're going to pull this down. I apologize for the poor screen quality. This camera does not record the screen very well, but we'll see what we can do here. Again, the username on this is Ubuntu, and the password is blank. And so now we have Unity 8 here, and this is on a touch screen. So this is going to be like kind of, you can barely even see my hand coming in, but this is the functionality of it, just on a touch screen. Let me see if I can do. Let's see if I can do something so you can actually see my hand coming around here. Let me see if turning this back on will help. Yeah, okay. I guess that's good enough now. So here you can see it is pretty nice. You have to go out. It's not like you can't just do that. You got to go out a little bit, and they actually explain that in various places. And so that's nothing that's super whatever. Of course, if you go this direction, you'll get this view here. So if I pull up again, go away, dude. Now, one of the things is if they're trying to kind of say that it's for touchscreen, these guys here really need to be a whole lot larger. Now, of course, this is the desktop view. Of course, network error because I'm not on a network. So here it is pretty flashy in this respect. You can drop them off like that to close them. Apparently can never close that stupid thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and you cannot interact with this. Oh, let me see. Move my thing there. You cannot interact up here very easily with your hand. As far as the individuals, but you can grab the whole top and slide it down. This is more like more like a menu bar though, and then I can barely see what these guys are. Notifications. Here's your keyboard set, files. I guess that says. Bluetooth, you can turn Bluetooth on or off. Let me, I don't want to reset that. So I have a Bluetooth headset I could try to attach. I don't want to try that though. Here's your networks. Here's your sound. So this actually, it actually is quite a bit more friendly than I thought. The system is what I was going for. So you can't just come over here like you're used to on your mouse, coming up and just clicking on the icons. You can't do that. You come up here and then you drag it down like that. And then you can find the one. So this actually works very nice for a touchscreen if you had a touchscreen device. No, we're going to turn the desktop mode off. So this turns us back to your basic scopes view. And as far as your scopes view is concerned, though, I cannot. I mean, in theory, you should be able to add these guys onto scopes. I just don't know how, if possible at all. Let me right-click and see what I can do here. There's unpin. Okay, come back over here. So here you can go up. Now again though, there used to be some apps over here on the scopes when you clicked that down button, but I have no idea how you can add anything to these, if at all. In theory, you should be able to. So let's see. Was working. Regular, let's see if the solitaire works. Okay, so let's just have a quick look here at the solitaire game. This might be fun on a touch screen. Now it's kind of giving me this long swipe. Yes, I'm well aware about the long swiped app in the application drawer. I want to play a game of cards. Okay. So this is actually pretty cool. As far as, you know, I don't think I've ever played cards on a touchscreen laptop before. You know, but going back, I mean, this is, of course, a matter of opinion and a piece of debate or whatever else. But as far as this type of functionality on an actual desktop computer, I'm not a huge fan of this. Like, I actually disable the touchscreen on this computer at startup. And I do that because you're over here typing. I mean, I have a keyboard right here. I have a mouse right here. The last thing I have any desire to do is come over and reach over and touch the screen. And there is actually a small problem on this particular model of computer where the touch screen occasionally goes haywire. And the computer screen went haywire more times than I ever actually used it. And so when I'm running my default operating system, I've actually built a script that disables it at startup. And if I need the touch screen, I can go over and enable it in my home menu. But for the most part, I do not. I generally don't do that. There's a few times that I do, and a touchscreen is handy. But on this type of laptop, a standard laptop, I think a touchscreen is a completely useless thing. Now, if it were like a full flip, you know, a hybrid, something like a Yoga, I can see a touchscreen for sure. But I just think touchscreen on a basic computer is overrated. You know, one operating system to rule them all is in my opinion, not a good plan. But, you know, that's the direction some things are trying to go. You know, Windows is going this direction, and Ubuntu is going this direction. That's not good company, Ubuntu. That's not good company. Of course, if you're in here, the UI button still over here is not a valid one. You can see where it still has the Unity UI there. If you are not in the desktop mode, the way to close the application is to slide, it should be to slide over, and then just drop the application out like that. And then it goes right back to this thing again, which if this thing here gets functionality soon, this should be their number one level of functionality, because a lot of people have said this thing is stupid, it's annoying, it's in the way. Show me what it's here for. Like, give me something real that this thing's here for. Maybe make those a little smoother to get rid of. So we're going to turn desktop mode off. And give me the ability to kill the thing too, you know. So there's kind of Unity 8 in a nutshell. It's great that it's working on a VirtualBox now. On a touch screen, they have a little bit of the functionality here. I like the if I got that scopes thing working well, and I could customize that. This would not be a bad interface for a tablet. If they came out with a nice Ubuntu tablet, I'd probably want one. Especially if it's a full Linux operating system. If I can do real files. Now, of course, let's see. I tried it on the other computer, but I'm going to try and open up LibreOffice and see if I can't save a document somewhere here, and find it. Let me actually come down here. I'm going to turn desktop mode back on. There we are. This is a test. Of course, I'm going to try and do this without using the mouse or anything. So I'm just going to do this. Oh, this is a question. Is this the keyboard? Or is that just a language select? I don't know. Ah, on-screen keyboard. Let's see what that gives me. On-screen keyboard. Okay. Well, it says there's an on-screen keyboard. I'm not sure exactly where that on-screen keyboard happens to be. I can actually move applications nicely just like that. That's actually pretty cool. So I'm not sure what is the difference between how I'm getting to move the applications and how I'm getting to this whole screen here. Maybe it's just a length of whatever's. But okay, I have no idea. They say there's supposed to be a touch screen here. I have no idea where. So let's just go ahead and test. It wants to save it in the documents. See, there I go again. I'm doing that. Now, of course, in desktop view, let's see if I can find my files. There we are. There's files. Let's switch to a black screen so you can see as me. It looks like files probably doesn't work. I feel like I'm on an Android. There's no files. All right, let's get out of desktop mode. All right, give me my mouse. Close that. Not sure what's going on there. So invariably somebody's going to send me a link, to that one person's video that has all these cool things, what all this can do. And I'm just going to once again say, yeah, send me instructions on how to set it up like that or what your detailed plan is, and I'll think about believing you that that's a usable system. But, this is the average user. This is what the average user can expect. I can't even come on here, write a document, save it. I can't put it on the desktop. I can't seem to access it on files. Most of the apps still seem to be broken. They're making progress. They're making quite a bit more progress than I had anticipated they were going to make. But this is still, this isn't some little shop with no resources. This is a major platform that major Linux distros are built on, and this is a beta too. And I've seen some instability in the Unity 7 as well. I received in testing today, I received several places where, I was getting the same errors I was getting before. So, I guess with all of that, this is just a quick walkthrough. Of course, the positives, they're making some direction. One of the biggest direction is now you can actually install this on VirtualBox. So once they get the updates working properly, then we'll be in good shape. But all that being said, there's a long way to go here. They said that we were going to have it in 16. We didn't. We finally got a preview in 16.10. They said 17. We didn't get that. Now they're saying 18 is what I'm seeing. And with that being said, it's been it's been a long, hard road. I appreciate what Ubuntu does. It's not a distro I hate. I don't care for the direction they're going. I just don't think that it's a direction that people have necessarily asked for. I think they're just listening to the marketing, like, Microsoft's like, oh, one system, one platform, one everything. And they're just like, oh, this must be what people want. No! Just because a big company like Microsoft comes out and says this is what people want, it does not mean that's what people want. Okay? Listen to users for a while. I haven't seen anybody asking for this. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not looking. But this is almost the same philosophy that I find when, iOS comes out, like Apple comes out, like, iOS 7 has the biggest adoption rate. That's because you forced it on everybody. It's like Windows 10, the same thing. Windows 10 has so many people using it. Yeah, how many of those people were willingly using it? How many of those people would go back if they had that choice? And you get those kind of dynamics going. So, the positive is, at least now Unity 8 is working in a virtual box. We can see it a little bit better. And that means that more people will be looking into it, because wiping a computer or trying to get it to install nicely on a USB drive or something is kind of a pain, but a lot of people will download it and test it out and spin it up in a virtual box. And with that being said, it works in a virtual box. It works over here. Don't upgrade it right now. Upgrading it seems to brick the thing. It's... I expect more from Canonical at this point. That's just my thought. Not entirely negative, not entirely bad. I think they're off to a great start here. I am looking forward to seeing the finished product, and I really hope I can customize those ugly icons. The next thing I would ask for, if they came to me and said, what is the next thing we should look for? Give me logic and reason behind that stupid scopes window. Make it a reasonable thing that the stupid thing keeps popping up, and allow me to customize it, add apps to it. Let me know what this thing's for, because right now I see it as just a major annoyance. So that's just a real quick walkthrough on the beta 2 of Zesty Zapus Ubuntu 17.04. And that release, the final release, will be scheduled for next month, and I cannot remember the release dates. And it's way too early for me to look them up right now. I'm going to wrap this guy up and post this and head off to bed for the night. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.